Alright, everybody. Hope everyone is having a... Ooh, sorry about that. This way. Hope everyone is having a great start to their Memorial Day weekend. There we go, much better. So, as we head into this Sunday afternoon, we're already starting to see some severe weather fire up and across the region. So let's break it down. We're starting to see the eastern sea breeze interact with areas across the Brevard County inlets. And let me just move my camera just a little bit more to the side. Much better. So severe weather already starting to fire up across the region, seeing some thunderstorms popping up across northern Volusia County now, but we're now focusing in on the inlets area from Cocoa Beach all the way down to Grant-Volcaria. This is the same area that had a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings pop up yesterday as well. So if you do have any storm reports that you'd like to put in from this storm already, definitely let us know. Lightning count is going up. Again, that's one of the factors that we look at in order to see if this storm is starting to pick up in any way. We're here live on Facebook. We're here live on YouTube. So if you want to write in and put in your storm reports, that would be extremely helpful. And I have YouTube up here and our Facebook comments, so please write in if you can. So what we're seeing right here, and I'm actually going to switch over to our Orlando radar. So as I was kind of explaining yesterday as we were covering severe weather, switching in between radars is something that's really important, trying to get the entire view of this storm. If the radar is too close, you're not getting the big picture, but if it's too far away, you're missing some of the things that are happening down closer to the surface. So that's why we're using our clear scan or Orlando radar right here. This is in Bithlo, so we're getting a good view of the storm where it's not too close but not too far away. Looks like these lightning counts are going up a little bit with this storm, which again, one of the reasons why we're seeing that severe thunderstorm warning in play at the moment. National Weather Service issued this about 5 minutes ago, and mainly calling for the possibility of that small hail as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds. That hail, like we saw yesterday, can reach up to about an inch, which is about ping-pong sized, and we're seeing that severe thunderstorm warning get expired at 2:30 p.m. Yesterday in Palm Bay, just right by Malabar as well, right in this area, right over the I-95 corridor, there were multiple reports of hail and strong winds, and there was actually a little bit of a microburst that caused some damage to a home. But right now we're just starting to see this thunderstorm fire up. It's pretty much going to stay stationary, so it's not really going to move. It's pretty much just going to pick up and then rain itself out, is what National Weather Service is suggesting and what we can see here on the radar as we play it back in the next 15 minutes. And this is what we normally see as these storms try and start to interact with the land and sea. So overall, we're just going to continue to see this storm almost sit right over Satellite Beach all the way down to Mico and Grant-Volcaria as this storm continues to pick up. So that's what we're seeing right now. Taking a look at our Fox 35 radar, but something that you can already see here is thunderstorms fire off each other, and this is something that we're going to see through the rest of the afternoon. Taking a look right here, of course, this is where a severe thunderstorm warning is, right over Melbourne right now, and we'll take a look at a couple of other places, but you can see almost this little arc that's starting to form, and this is going to be traveling towards the west. So this is actually going to start to collide with some other thunderstorms and really start to fire things up over Orlando and Kissimmee as we head over the next couple of hours. So all of these little boundaries and these little airflows are going to produce other thunderstorms across the region as we head through the rest of the afternoon. Pretty much a rinse and repeat of what we saw yesterday, just about an hour earlier, is what we're going to continue to see through the rest of the afternoon and evening. So if anyone's in the severe thunderstorm warning right now, let's actually pop up our places and really jack those up in case your hometown is in here. Let me pull back up our Facebook page as well. Seeing areas across Satellite Beach, up towards Cocoa Beach, South Cocoa Beach, you're in this. You're seeing just a little bit of rain right now. South Patrick Shores, just starting to see that little bit of rain push offshore. Indian Harbor Beach, starting to see a little bit more of that rain. And then continuing to see more of that heavy rain down by Melbourne, Palm Bay, Malabar, as well as down by Grant Valkyria as well. And Valkyria is where we're starting to see some of that lighter rain. So that's what we're going to continue to see. And Donna Doyle, you just said that you saw a decent amount of hail in Melbourne. Let's actually take a look at that now that you mention it. Okay, it does look like there's some hail there, so I think you're absolutely right on that one. Doesn't seem to be picking up from our Melbourne radar, but again, this looks like it could be a little bit too close in order to see that hail. So we're trying to go off of our Orlando radar to kind of get a good picture of that. But if there is going to be any hail, Palm Bay, Melbourne, Malabar, that's where we're going to be seeing more of the potential of that hail this afternoon with this storm in particular. So let's actually back up a little bit, see if there's any other... Jackie, you're saying that there's a little bit of rain in Satellite Beach. Yep, that's what we're continuing to see. Hail core north of the airport on top of the radar. So Mark Hurd, thank you so much for that report right there. Yeah, so that hail would be right over Melbourne, as we can see right here, where we're seeing those darkest reds. And let's put this off. Oops. Off laps right now. So right here, right over Melbourne, moving in towards June Park, over Route 192. That's where we can probably see that potential for hail headed in there right now. And it looks like there's a little bit of the potential for some hail right by Palm Bay as well. Let's see if we can try to get a decent look at this using some of our other products. Yeah, right by Palm Bay, it looks like there's some hail as well. Not really coming up on any of our products at the moment, but we can see those lightning strikes continuing to pick up. Again, it might be a little bit too close, but there does look like that thunderstorm, because it popped up so quick, producing a little bit of that wind shear. So those winds, especially across Palm Bay, looking pretty gusty right now. So as we do clock that in, right by Palm Bay, we're looking at about 15-20 mile per hour winds right up by Melbourne. Again, this is really close to the radar, so things are probably much more than this of what we're seeing out there right now. Fritz Braun, you said rain and lots of lightning right now in Malabar and Valkyria. No hail yet today, though. That's probably going to change in a little bit as more storms start to fire up a little bit later on. But again, if you're just joining us today, on this Sunday afternoon as we continue your Memorial Day weekend, we are seeing a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for central and southern Brevard County, right along the inlets area. So if you're from Cocoa Beach down to Grant Valkyria, almost down to Mico, you're in a severe thunderstorm warning right now. Joy Nolan, you're seeing a lot of lightning in Spring Hill. And yeah, with this storm, with storms in general, usually when we see a lot of condensed lightning or lightning grouped together and those lightning counts increasing, that usually means that we are seeing a storm starting to strengthen. So that's what we're kind of seeing right here, because it picked up so quickly. That also is a good indicator of that there could be the possibility of hail there as well. So I do want to see if we have our radar that's in just to the south. Let's see if we have our Fort Lauderdale radar. All right, doesn't look to be so, but the National Weather Service did just put out that they're condensing the severe thunderstorm warning, still in effect until 2:30, now more for southeastern Brevard County. So if you're in Melbourne all the way down to Grant Valkyria, that's where we're going to continue to see that, just a little bit of a condensed severe thunderstorm warning right there. So what we're seeing again, lots of rain, lots of lightning with this storm. And as we take a look at the accumulation just real quick, just within the past hour, areas across Satellite Beach, just over Route 1. Wow, almost seeing about an inch of rain from Satellite Beach, just moving down to Melbourne right there. So a lot of rain in a short amount of time just with this storm only being active for about 20 minutes now. Switch back to our radar. And again, folks, we are in a level 1 out of 5 for severe weather today. So ultimately, just what that means is very similar to yesterday. We could see one or multiple severe thunderstorm warnings pop up as we head through the rest of the evening. But you can already kind of see the sea breezes in play. We have the eastern sea breeze, which is firing up all of these thunderstorms right here. We have all of these little boundaries that are starting to form, coming out from all of these thunderstorms that are forming right along the coast. And we can see the western sea breeze already starting to pop up some of those thunderstorms right here. These are going to be moving in on this way. These are going to either stay along the coast or very slightly move over the I-95 corridor. So areas where we were seeing all of those storms yesterday, pretty much from Palm Coast, Daytona Beach, Cocoa Beach area, we could see some thunderstorms all the way down the coast and through the inlets. But also we could see some more storms pop up right around the theme parks as well, headed into a little bit later on. But again, if you remember yesterday, this is the same area where we saw some thunderstorms pop up yesterday. So that's something that we're continuing to focus on. Again, we're seeing more of the thunderstorms continuing to pop up right over Palm Bay, which is where we actually saw a microburst yesterday. Some folks actually thought it was a tornado that actually passed over, but because those winds were just so strong coming out of the thunderstorm that popped up, that's what looked like it was a tornado damage, but it only knocked down a tree. There wasn't really too much more damage through the other part of the afternoon. So taking a look right now, doing a little bit of a reset. Again, if you're just joining us, severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 2:30 from Melbourne all the way down to Grant Valcaria. So if you're along the beaches, Melbourne, Palm Bay, Melbourne Beach, Melbourne Shores, even down to Ballard Pines and Evan Pines, we're going to continue to see this severe thunderstorm warning in play. It does look like there could be the possibility of a little bit of hail right by Palm Bay, pretty much exactly where we were seeing that hail yesterday. So if you wrote in yesterday reporting that you got hail and you were in the Palm Bay area, yeah, that's where we're kind of seeing that at the moment. Let's see if we're seeing any... Okay, it's not being picked up on radar quite yet, but yes, there is definitely the possibility of some hail within that storm, even though it's not popping up on radar. Good news is that there's not any rotation, so most likely this is not going to be producing a quick spin up or a very brief tornado, but this is something that we're going to continue to monitor, because again, lots of people are outside, lots of people are enjoying the long weekend. So with the unofficial start of summer, not only are we seeing the heat, the humidity, but of course the return of those afternoon thunderstorms. Saw somebody write in, Daniel, welcome back. So you said the clouds are really dark right over SeaWorld. You're in the parking lot, and I want to see what it is. Yes, let's do a quick look in on that. So most likely what you're seeing are the thunderstorms coming from the Claremont, Lake County area, because SeaWorld is right around here. A little bit further up. There we go. So here's SeaWorld, here's Walt Disney World, and we'll do a little doodling here real quick. So Daniel, here's where you are in SeaWorld. If you're in Disney, this is Magic Kingdom right here. Here is Epcot, here is Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom is here, Disney Springs is here, and of course Epic Universe, the first full weekend of Epic Universe is right there. So here are all the main theme parks that a lot of folks are going to be visiting for the next couple of months, of course, but especially today, enjoying the long weekend, that's what we're going to be continuing to see. So Daniel, it looks like you're seeing some of these thunderstorms, and if we put this on a loop, I don't know if you're going to get hit with these ones, but you're probably just seeing a lot of clouds. However, we're going to probably continue to see more of those thunderstorms pop up, and those are going to continue to move in as we head into about the 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock hour. So you're in the clear right now, but things are going to most likely fire up a little bit more through the afternoon and evening. So backing up just a little bit more. Oh, okay, that's from earlier. I forgot I put this on a loop. So again, keeping an eye on this severe thunderstorm warning that we're seeing out there right now. Billy Torres and Tavares and Eustis. Let's take a look up there. Okay, so you're going to get hit with a thunderstorm probably within the next 5 minutes. Starting to see some of that rain make its way over the Tavares area, as well as up towards Eustis. So you have probably a couple minutes before you see a little bit of a rain shower move in. But let's see if there's any lightning. A couple flashes of lightning, but nothing too serious. Maybe a little bit later on in the day we could see that. Just to the south, though, starting to move into Clay Island area in Lake County. Looks like there's a little bit of a storm that's starting to pick up, possibly seeing a little bit of hail associated with that. I know a lot of folks in Daytona Beach writing in that they did not see any any rain yesterday. So yes, the Daytona Beach area definitely does need that rain for sure. So if you're just joining us again, keeping an eye on this severe thunderstorm warning right here. Another little storm that I see right here, again, is just to the north of Claremont, making its way over the Clay Island area. This is what's going to be firing up. Maybe some small hail associated with this storm, but it just looks like a little bit of lightning storm just moving over the lake right there, heading up towards Apopka. Palm Coast just saw Mikey right in. Palm Coast looks good right now, but again, we're going to continue to see some of these thunderstorms start to move in towards the west, so you could see much more of the thunderstorms continuing to push in a little bit later on. Again, in Flagler County, there was a severe thunderstorm warning yesterday, so again, we could see very much a rinse and repeat of almost rapid fire severe thunderstorm warnings pop up throughout the rest of the afternoon. So of course, I'll be here making sure the radar is clear, and if there is anything, we'll pop right back on here in order to keep you well informed, and especially if you're headed to the theme parks, to keep you prepared as you're heading to any Memorial Day weekend events. That's what we're here for. That's why we do what we do, in order to keep you safe. So once again, this is what we normally look at when we're seeing the possibility of a tornado. Something that I just look at again, because these little boundaries very much create that clash, and when they collide, they can create just a little bit of that rotation that could produce a very brief tornado. So that's something that I definitely want to just keep checking in on, not necessarily looking for anything in particular. But again, we did see those straight line winds from a microburst, very similar setup from what we're seeing right now. So trying to keep people well informed that, especially in the Palm Bay area, maybe seeing those very gusty winds out there right now. Had hail in the Melbourne area from Greg. Thank you for the reports there. Yeah, especially in the Melbourne, Palm Bay area, even down to Malabar. That's where we were seeing those crazy hail reports of over like ping pong sized ball hails from what we were seeing yesterday. So again, we're here on Facebook, we are here on Fox Local, we are here on YouTube. So if you have any storm reports, any questions, definitely let us know. So taking a step back again, just to kind of keep an eye on this storm right here. In effect until 2:30, so we have about 25 minutes left in that. And just doing a quick check on the National Weather Service chat that we have up here right now. Doesn't look like they're adding anything to it, so most likely this storm starting to weaken, and you can see it right here, starting to see much more of that storm almost stretch apart. So we're kind of seeing one of two things right here. And this is just active analysis. When I see it, I let you guys know, because again, it's a teaching lesson, but also it lets you know what kind of we look at as we're doing this live analysis right here. So what we're seeing, and especially with thunderstorms that pop up very quickly and then die down, I'm going to actually switch over to our Melbourne radar real quick. So something that I'm keying in on just right here, keeping an eye on this lightning count. So something that I'm seeing just with this storm right now, it's almost stretching. And that's what thunderstorms do as they pick up and then almost die down very quickly. They almost stretch and then fizzle out. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. This thunderstorm pretty much raining itself out over Palm Bay, Melbourne, Valkyria, Grant Valkyria, and down to Ballard Pines as well. Miko, you're going to be getting a little bit of rain in just a moment. And then if you're right on the Indian River, Brevard County border, also seeing a good amount of rain as well. Fellsmere actually yesterday got a crazy amount of hail. That microburst that was actually affecting parts of Palm Bay continued to move south and affect areas in Indian River County earlier on. So that's what we're seeing at the moment. But again, right here, just notice this lightning count real quick. Just in the past 15 minutes or so, it went from about 200 lightning strikes and now is already going down to 150. So it looks like this storm is starting to weaken. But also something that I'm seeing right here is that I mentioned this a little bit earlier on in our stream. And something that we look at, especially when thunderstorms pop up, and especially here in central Florida, it seems like those thunderstorms pick up during the heat of the day and then die down once the heat of the day kind of falls through. And that's exactly what happens. That cool air over the ocean makes its way onto the land, that air rises, and that produces thunderstorms like what we're seeing here. But then thunderstorms pretty much have a domino effect. So as you can see right here, here's the main thunderstorm. This is what we've been looking at for a little bit now. But we can also see these little arcs starting to form. Let me change my pen color, make it a little bit easier for y'all to see. There we go. All right, so these little arcs that you're starting to see right here, these are outflow boundaries. So as warm air gets sucked up into a thunderstorm, air cools as it gets higher up in the atmosphere, and when it cools, it has to drop to the ground. So then this is where water and air very much act very similar. So when that cool air hits the ground, it kind of just spreads out. And this is what the radar is picking up. We're getting all of these little outflow boundaries here, a little bit out here. Let's see if we see any others. But those are the main three that I'm clocking in right now. Maybe a little bit of one right here, but that's not rain. A lot of people write in and ask, are these little showers that pop up? And not necessarily. These are little air boundaries, basically, that are continuing to move outwards from the thunderstorms that pop up. And these are going to produce other thunderstorms that pop up as they collide with other boundaries that get put off by the thunderstorms that are coming in from the west coast. So once we see these collide, they create much more bigger and intense thunderstorms popping up where those boundaries collide. So it does look like the severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Brevard County is canceled. So let me clear off my little doodles here. And we'll do just a quick forecast and preview of what we can expect for the rest of the afternoon. Something that I do want to pop up very quickly are the special weather statements. So these are not active warnings at the moment. However, these are just storms that the National Weather Service is watching that could possibly be at that severe strength. So not seeing any across central Florida right now, but more should be popping up as we head into a little bit later on. Pop up our lightning counts again. So let's just work from the bottom down. Taking a look in Flagler. Michael Evans, I see you in our YouTube chat. Southeast Palm Bay, Deer Run. Yes, so that's the storm that we were watching just a couple minutes ago. That was under a severe thunderstorm warning. Joshua Carrero, we did see a couple of hail reports in the Melbourne area from some of our viewers on Facebook. And the breeze is nice. Yes, especially when we start to see those thunderstorms drop that much cooler air. We do see a little bit of a nice breeze before we get hit with the very heavy rain. So taking a look, once again, hopping back on our Facebook page. Fritz Braun, you said, are these the storms and the result from the East Coast and West Coast sea breezes colliding over Brevard County? Yes. So we did see some of that sea breeze come up, but also, especially in the summertime when it's really warm over the land and really cold over the ocean, we have a huge temperature difference right here. The water right now over Brevard County is about 75 degrees. We'll do 75 right here. And then over the land, with that sun beating down this morning, we're talking especially in areas that are more built up. Here, let me actually pop down more towards Brevard County where we're seeing some of these storms. So the water is 75 degrees over the land. Today, I think our high right now in Melbourne was about 90 degrees right now, give or take. It's most likely going to gain a couple more degrees a little bit later on. So as we see this eastern sea breeze come on shore, it's much cooler. And then once it interacts with this very warm air, it needs to go up. It rises because it's starting to interact and warm up, and that's going to continue to rise higher up in the atmosphere. And as this eastern sea breeze brings in a lot of moisture off the coast, it creates thunderstorms. So this is exactly what we were seeing right here, and why we're going to continue to see those coastal thunderstorms as we head through the rest of the summer. So this is basically what's happening. Cool, moist air coming off the shore, interacting with the land, that gets pushed higher up in the atmosphere, creates pop-up thunderstorms. I hope I explained that well for you, Fritz, if that makes sense. Let me know if I need to elaborate a little bit more. Looks like we're pretty much good on, I think I got caught up on our questions. So let me just do a quick radar breakdown. I'm going to pop up our special weather statements, which are good. And we'll do a quick forecast for what's in store for the rest of the afternoon and evening. So what we're seeing right here, up towards Flagler County, Palm Coast, Flagler Beach area, a couple of thunderstorms just off to your west. Could be seeing a couple more of those thunderstorms continuing to pop up from Ormond Beach up to Flagler Beach, but most of these storms, if I put this on a lapse, most of these going to continue to make their way slowly west, if not just kind of rain themselves out right along the shoreline. Making our way down towards Volusia County, we're seeing the western sea breeze really start to take hold, so all of these storms in Lake County, these are going to continue to make their way westward, and all of these little showers, thunderstorms that are right over the Daytona Beach area, so those folks that are writing in from Daytona Beach saying that you need the rain, looks like you're getting a little bit of rain right over the Daytona International Speedway and Daytona Beach right now. So what we're going to continue to see for the rest of the evening is those storms pretty much continuing to make their way westward. But again, also taking into consideration that we're going to see more of those thunderstorms pop up through the rest of the afternoon. So backing down towards Orange County, Orlando area, back over to Titusville. Most of these storms, again, popping up right along the coastline. But we can see right here, we still have some thunderstorms that are going to make their way up towards Apopka, from Claremont up to Apopka. Heads up if you're in the Sanford, Lake Mary area, you're probably getting some rain and some showers right now. But with that, all of these storms that we can see down towards Tampa, they're slowly going to make their way up the I-4 corridor. And again, this is the western sea breeze that we're taking a look at, where all of these storms are popping up. So we can see right along here, as well as some of these storms that are now starting to create those outflow boundaries, areas across Orlando, Kissimmee, right in the dead center of those. So as we head through the rest of the afternoon, these boundaries going to collide with some of these thunderstorms over here, and this is what's going to create more of those thunderstorms popping up across the central I-4 corridor, as well as the Florida Turnpike. So if you're in the theme parks, be prepared for those daily afternoon showers and downpours as we head through the rest of the afternoon and evening. So let's focus on Brevard County. We see some scattered showers and thunderstorms over Titusville. Doesn't even look like there's really any lightning associated with them right now. So Titusville getting a couple of showers. Down towards Port St. John, a couple of sprinkles as well. And then, of course, if you're writing in from Melbourne, Palm Bay, Grand Valkyria, going to continue to see some of those heavier downpours, but that lightning count is going down. Again, that's one of the things that we're looking at. And Michael, writing in from Palm Bay on Facebook, saying that it's thundering and lightning pretty bad in the Palm Bay area right now. Yes, we're still seeing that thunderstorm slowly start to fall apart as it kind of just stretches and slowly starts to just rain itself out and lose that energy. There is still a good amount of lightning over Palm Bay and Melbourne. However, not as much as what we were looking at just 15 minutes ago. Take a look. Just in that lightning count, if I really close in, it was at 184 just at 2 o'clock, and now it's at 70. So it just proves that those thunderstorms pick up very quickly and then die down very quickly as we head through the rest of the afternoon, and that's going to be the trend for the rest of the afternoon as well. Down towards Micco, right on the border of Indian River County, as well as Sebastian, Fellsmere, up towards Micco. Seeing a little bit of a thunderstorm, but I think that's going to fizzle out and then slowly make its way offshore as we head into a little bit later on. But that's our current radar at the moment. Again, continuing to see those thunderstorms pop up. They are going to be the most widespread as we head into about the 5-6 o'clock hour, and then things very quickly quieting down from there. But just expect those scattered showers, pop-up thunderstorms for the rest of the afternoon and evening. if folks are on Facebook, on YouTube, if there is any severe thunderstorm warnings, anything that you need to know for the rest of the evening, give me a follow on Facebook, give our Fox 35 Orlando Facebook page a follow as well, and make sure those notifications are on. If there's anything that happens through the rest of the overnight tonight, we got you covered, and I'll be here watching the radar all night long if I have to, in order to keep you safe and keep you going for your Memorial Day weekend. In order to wrap up, I do have a favor for everyone. On Monday, I don't know if you've heard, our 2025 hurricane preview is happening. And I'm going to put this up full so you can get a good look at this. So what we're going to be airing is our 2025 hurricane preview. The Fox 35 Storm team has put so much work into this. And so make sure you tune in and watch on Monday, May 26th, so Memorial Day at 7 p.m. This is something that you are not going to want to miss. It is something that I've put a lot of work in. Jess has put a lot of work in. Brooks, Noah, TJ. This has been a project for the past 3 months that we've been working on. And we made this for you. We had a lot of questions come back in after our coverage last year, and we had a lot of great questions on how you can stay safe, where the data comes from, little tips and tricks in order to make hurricane preparation not so expensive. So that's just a couple of things that we're going to cover, taking a look at our hurricane special coming up on Monday. So tune in for that. But also after the fact, and here's where my favor comes in. If you're on Facebook, take a snapshot of this image right now. If you're on YouTube, do the same. We are doing a live question and answer after the fact. So going over all the numbers, going over your questions, breaking down a little bit more of the science and what you want to know that wasn't already answered in the special directly afterwards. And that's going to be live right here on our Facebook, right here, on our YouTube as well. And then we're also going to be on our Fox Local app, and I think that's it. I think our Fox Local app, Facebook, and YouTube are going to be the main three that we're hitting tomorrow. So that's something that's super exciting. Make sure you tune in, and also make sure you submit your questions, because of course we're going to be on for a half hour from 7:30 to 8 o'clock, and we need your questions. So definitely get those submitted before Monday, and we will answer them live on the air. Taking one last look at the radar real quick before we wrap up. Again, keeping an eye on a thunderstorm right below, right on the Brevard County border and the Indian River border, seeing some of that lightning continue to pick up. It looks like the worst of that is going to be over the Indian River side. So if you're in the Fellsmere area, and let me just pop myself up real quick. Heads up, this is not our viewing area. However, something I like to just protect people. So overall, even though this is not necessarily impacting southern Brevard County, we go by county borders in news for when the areas that we actually cover. But it looks like areas in the Fellsmere area, Vero Lake Estates, up towards Sebastian, looks like a little bit more of that lightning starting to pop up. And there is a special weather statement starting to pick up from that as well. So if you're in right basically along the Brevard County and Indian River County coastline, make sure you're just staying aware, especially if you're driving down I-95 or in the Fellsmere area where there was another severe thunderstorm warning yesterday. Just make sure you're being careful with that. All right, folks, make sure you're staying weather aware through the rest of the afternoon. Give me a follow. Give our Fox 35 Facebook page a follow. Make sure those notifications are on so we can keep you safe and ready to go for the rest of your Memorial Day weekend. Have a great one, everybody.